It always starts with a tape. An internet user named Anthony, known for finding the original Walten File tapes, claims he and a friend found another one while hiking in Michigan, in the exact same spot as their first two. He apologizes in the description for an error that leaves the screen white after 3 minutes, an error that supposedly can't be fixed. This is Hotline. The tape starts as a cheerful corporate training video for BSI Smiles Incorporated employees, introducing an emergency hotline for caretakers at the mysterious K9 storage facility. But like everything in the Walten Files, the corporate cheer quickly cuts to a grainy, terrifying handheld footage from deep inside the same facility. We see glimpses of a massive vault door, broken down animatronics, and then the person holding the camera is startled by a voice from somewhere in the darkness. Hi everyone, I'm Matt Whelm, and today we're answering the call and diving deep into the Hotline minisode. We'll follow a new employee on his final horrifying shift, witness the spirits of past victims, and come face to face with the entity known as Bond. Let's get started. We're introduced to our new protagonist, David Gonzalez, a caretaker stuck on a late night shift at the K9 storage facility. The bunker used to store everything from the old Bond's Burgers restaurant. The episode immediately builds a sense of dread. Through David's shaky camera, we can feel his growing paranoia. He feels like he's being watched. Desperate, he calls the official BSI Smiles hotline for assistance.
You've reached the BSI Smiles hotline. Please stand by while we connect you to our available operators.
David pleads with the hotline worker, telling him he doesn't feel safe, that something is in there with him.
Hey, David, what's up?
Hey, man.
Working hard or hardly working?
Listen, I don't know exactly how to put this, but, I don't feel safe here.
But the response he gets is chillingly bureaucratic and completely unhelpful.
Oh, David, that's just our usual employee fright. If you refer to the work with manual at page 24...
No, man, you don't get it. I feel watched. I don't know how to put it.
The worker tells him it's not a real emergency and that he'll just have to wait to be picked up in the morning when his shift is over. He is utterly alone with no help coming. And while he's still on the phone, he sees it. A pale, white face watching him from a dark doorway. Now completely on his own, David continuously explores the facility. He walks into a hall and his light lands on the lifeless, slumped-over animatronic, Boozoo. As strange, doll-like music begins to play from an unseen source. For those who remember, Boozoo is one of the original showstoppers, possessed by the spirit of Charles Brook, the second known victim of Bond. Terrified, David backs away and moves through a different hall. This one filled with objects hanging from the ceiling on strings, a direct callback to the souvenir teaser where we saw Bond hanging at all. David eventually makes his way back to the 3 doors we saw earlier and points his camera at the vault door one last time. But this time, something is there. The spirit of Charles Brook himself appears, a ghostly figure walking directly towards David, even seeming to gesture at him before David pans the camera away in terror. Just as David is reeling from seeing Charles' ghost, he hears a new sound, a broken, distorted laugh coming from a nearby doorway. He turns and we see it. Emerging from the back doors, a deeper locked section of the K9 facility, is the entity known as Bond. This isn't just a bulky animatronic. This is the spirit itself. A lanky, impossibly tall, black and white figure that has to stoop to even fit through the doorway. The entity's face contorts into a terrifying scream, and it begins running, charging directly at David. What follows is a frantic chase sequence with David screaming and fleeing for his life, dropping his camera as he escapes the facility. The last we see of him, he's alive, but lost, wandering aimlessly on a dark road in the middle of St. Juana's forest. But the tape isn't over. The drop camera is still recording. After a moment of silence, something slides across the floor into frame. It's a bloody head. The camera then cuts to show the spirits of two of Bond's most well-known victims, Susan Woodings and Charles Brook, standing together, staring directly into the lens. We then see Susan's head, now graphically attached to Benny's animatronic, lurching closer. The tape ends on one final deeply unsettling image. The camera focuses on the baby doll we've seen hanging in previous teasers. It stares at us as a faint text, "See you soon," appears on the screen. The tape then abruptly ends, leaving us with that cryptic message. Hotline is a piece of lore that fills in some gaps while leaving us with terrifying implications. When we analyze the evidence, a few chilling theories begin to take shape. First, what really happened to David Gonzalez? While he technically escapes the facility, he's last seen wandering aimlessly on the road in St. Juana's forest. This is the same forest where other victims are buried. Given that the Bond entity was actively hunting him, it's highly unlikely he survived. One theory is that his escape was temporary. He was either hunted down in the woods or simply became another lost soul trapped in the forest's supernatural influence, just like Ed and Molly Walten before him. Second, the BSI Hotline itself is a piece of a larger conspiracy. The hotline workers' complete refusal to help wasn't just bad customer service. It feels like deliberate policy. This suggests that Bunny Smiles Incorporated, or at least a faction within it, knows that Canine Facility is a death trap. A strong theory is that the caretakers are intentionally left isolated and uniformed, acting as bait or simply preventing anyone from discovering the full truth of what Bond is doing in there. The useless hotline is proof that David was never meant to be saved. Finally, what was the message from the spirits? When the spirits of Susan Woodings and Charles Brook stare into the camera, it could be interpreted in two ways. The more hopeful theory is that it's a warning. They are showing themselves to the next person who finds the tape. In this case, Anthony, to warn him away. The doll's final message, "See you soon," becomes a grim prophecy. If you continue this investigation, you will see us soon, because you will be dead too. The darker theory, Susan and Charles are no longer themselves. They've been corrupted and are now part of a malevolent force haunting the facility. Their stare is a threat, and "see you soon" is a promise of what they will do to the next person who stumbles upon their domain. So, what do you think? Was the final message a warning from trapped souls or a threat from corrupted monsters? Let me know your theories about David's fate and the BSI conspiracy down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest chapter of the Walten Files, please be sure to smash that like button, share and subscribe for more explorations of dark and fascinating analog horror. Thanks for watching, I'm Not Whelm, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe and don't pick up any strange VHS tapes next time.